welcome to the Indaba 2025. Just to give you a brief overview for those of you who are new to the Future Fit, or as I said, logging in online and have no idea of what's happening today. The Future Fit started last year in 2024 with its aim to essentially equip our boys with 21st century skills, competencies, attitudes, and values to go into the world and be active citizens, change makers, and people of significance, men of significance. And it's come a long way in that time. Essentially, our class last year was one class of 23. It grew to this year with two classes of 23, 24. And we really aren't stopping here and looking forward to a bright future with this curriculum going forward. The Future Fit is essentially a project-based transdisciplinary curriculum which really tries to make real, authentic problems accessible and available for young people to tackle and to think about and to ideate and create possible solutions. There's divided into three phases. The first phase we call the define and empathize phase. A lot of people misunderstand project-based learning as being a sort of free-for-all, open to boys just or students rather, just open-ended, answering open-ended questions without much scaffolding. The define and empathize phase is a moment of real direct instruction on various themes that the boys explore, real-world themes, and they're also encouraged to engage with community and go out into the real world and really see for their own eyes what is happening around them. That's the first phase. The second phase we call the agile action phase, and really what this is, it uses an agile framework of project development. And in that phase, the boys are divided into groups. The groups each get a coach, which is like a facilitator or supervisor that helps and guides them. That coach comes from a specific discipline, but is going to also help them in other areas and other disciplines and subject areas. And the boys go through a real reiterative 7-week process of project development. And finally, the last phase is where we're here today is the reporting communication phase. And in that phase, the groups and the projects are communicated, disseminated, and essentially we use this as an actual exam assessment. So this is the sort of final exam that the groups have prepared for this Future Fit curriculum, and they've put in an enormous amount of work. I think all of these groups, you're going to see a vast array, diverse sort of difference in projects, and you'll see that they've definitely put a huge amount of work. Some of them about 5 minutes before this presentation started. Just quickly, today's housekeeping. We have 3 projects being presented first. Each project has 15 minutes to present and communicate their project in the best way that they possibly see fit. You might see a bit of drama getting involved, you might see some video, you might see a whole host of different ways of presenting or communicating their story or narrative. And then there's 5 minutes of Q&A, which we'll open up to the audience. And so for everyone, boys and staff, including our guests, please get involved. We have Revive the Roads first, then Treat, Trust, and Trash to Cash, and then we'll have a break for half an hour. It's some tea in the foyer for boys and staff, and then we'll have the last 3 presentations of the day, and we will hope to wrap up. In fact, we will wrap up by 11 o'clock today. The presentations are assessed on the 3 main points: their content, clarity, and charisma. And really what today is about is for as I said, for the boys to just tell their story of what's happened over the last months. So without any further ado, we're going to Revive Our Roads to kickstart this year's 2025 for Future Fit Indaba.
ladies and gentlemen, and boys. We are Revive the World. I am your citizen, this is Sinalo Indaba, and that's Daniel Hayes.
We're seeking to make a difference and save lives. We are Revive the World.
Every year, thousands of lives are affected by the negligent state of our roads.
So we look close to home for solutions and listen to the people.
To me, according to myself, it's a fantastic idea to reduce potholes using a new asphalt.
Using sustainable methods, we created our own freedom for stronger, longer lasting.
We used recycled rubber from old tires to preserve the longevity and improve the structure within asphalt.
We use drones and machine learning technology to identify potholes.
This is how we will pave a way to safer and smoother future. We are Revive the Roads.
As a part of the Future Fit curriculum in my class, we were tasked with undertaking a project that contributes to the betterment of our community by using the United Nations UN SDG goals that were established in 2015 in New York. We believe our project benefits our teachers, parents, peers, and the greater community of people who reside, drive through, and run business on the stretch of the Midlands and Rand. We chose to address the safety concerns of the R103 road, specifically the 57-kilometer stretch from the Moy River toll gate to the Midmar Dam off-ramp on the N3. This road serves as the main alternative to the N3 during times of heavy traffic or road closures due to accidents. It often becomes overwhelmed. This affects not just the local community, but our school as it is traveled on by parents, staff, and students on most weekends. This stretch of the R103 is part of the Midlands. Did you know that there are around 1,500 to 1,800 fatalities related to the negligent state of our roads here in South Africa annually? So, what causes a pothole? Potholes form when water infiltrates and damages the road structure, combined with the effects of traffic pressure. Minor cracks appear on the road surface due to wear, traffic stress, or poor construction. Rainwater or melted snow seeps into these cracks. In cold conditions, the water freezes and expands, widening the cracks and weakening the road structure. Then when the weather warms up again, the water melts and sits under the road. And as vehicles pass over these weakened areas, the road surface collapses, creating a pothole. So what is our solution to this? We researched for recyclable materials that will upgrade the longevity and structure of our green road. We gathered the contact details of professions such as insurance brokers, the Deputy Director of Transport, Ms. Khatebe, construction companies, and CUNIM, a software and analytics company. We engaged in meetings with them and we gathered enough information to move forward with our project. The materials that we gathered were coal tar from builders' warehouse, and this is the main ingredient that you find on top of roads around South Africa. Rubber from Mafe Group, a local company in PMB that shreds and grinds used tires. And then we created our first prototype in the coal lab within the car. We first put the coal tar at the bottom of our sanitizer bottle, which we're using as a mold, and then added the crumb rubber and shredded rubber in between. We then poured some tough resin that we found within it. We then added another layer of coal tar as the top layer of our road. This ultimately led to a fail, as when we tried to cut the briquette or the mold out of the sanitizer bottle, it crumbled to pieces. So we tried again and we reduced the materials that we used, and this is the results that we got. We didn't use any resin, and we also didn't use any other holding agents or binding agents. So, onto the plan. We contacted Mrs. Governor, the head broker at Choice Insurance Brokers, located in Indaba. We had an online meeting where we talked about the impact and costs of pothole damage on people and how potholes can affect people from an insurance company's perspective. We discovered that a lot of people don't go to their car insurance to get a claim when they hit a pothole, but instead they would either repair the car themselves or go to the province, district, or Sunrun and get them to pay them to fix their car. The issue with that is that the government can take up to a couple of months to actually give you the money to repair your car, which is a massive inconvenience. We contacted Maeve Group Pty Limited through their website. We got in touch with their sales department. We inquired if the company would be willing to partner with us and assist us with our projects. Maeve Group is a company that targets used end-of-life tires and sheds them up into either mulch, which is rubber shreds, or grind them into crumbs. We managed to get a response from the CEO, Dr. Zarabini, and he was willing to cooperate with us and sent us a few of their samples. We have used the samples to create a prototype. We contacted Mr. Bernard, who is a founder of a company that does data analytics and software, CUNY. They assist businesses with translating data such as images to useful decision-making data. He provided guidance on how we could compile and present our data in a way that would be useful to users. He also gave us guidance on building a quality data set that can be useful in the long term in conjunction with functions such as machine learning to identify the potholes from drone images, identify the size of and plot the location on the map. We were shown that it is possible, but only with a lot of work. We set a goal that we must at least have a machine learning recognition model working for this presentation. And second to last, we met with Mr. Letlape, head of operations from Lomadco Construction Company. Currently, his company currently performing road repairs in Limpopo and Northwest. And we talked about how we recycled plastics and old tires are processed and are able to be used again. He told us about road repairs and confirmed that we could use the rubber chips from old tires in road buildings to the Department of Transport. We obtained assistance from the Chief Director of the Gauteng Department of Transport in obtaining a contact at the Department of Transport in KZN. We managed to meet with Mrs. Khadebe, the Deputy Director, and her team. Mrs. Khadebe and her team confirmed that the potholes that are closed up open up sooner than they would like, on average around 5.5 to 6 months after being repaired. And that they were very much open to a solution that makes fills the potholes that are in our roads and makes them last longer. However, there are regulations that must be compiled within road construction and filling all potholes. The Department of Transport KZN team also invited our team to participate in their social media campaign for road safety. And often we were flattered by it, and then we're still working on it.
On school funding. So we contacted beneficiaries that are used insurance companies like Avon and Apollo. We also contacted logistics companies, and we got a response from Apollo Transport Logistics. And they said that they were willing to include us in the CSR budget, which is a corporate social investment fund, which is basically a fund that big companies have to help smaller communities. So all they wanted was a letter of support for them to sign, which was signed by the general manager, and a more detailed brief of our project. So now that's out of the way, let's get to the action. So as Noah said, we contacted Mr. Bernard Sorote, who is the founder of CUNY, an data analytics company. And he told us to find a machine learning software we can upload photos to try and get it to identify potholes in the severity. So we found teaching machine where we gave it 1,000 photos of potholes from the internet and also from the R102. And we developed a rating system that ranges from 1 to 8. So 1 to 4 is small potholes and cracks in the road. 4 to 8 is the concerning size for a pothole and can damage your tires and hit them along, or there's extreme damage to the road.
So, Mr. Fencer, sir, looking at this photo, sir, where do you think this photo would rank, this stretch of road ranks? 1 to 4, where it's minor damage, 4 to 8, where it's a raise of concern and can damage your car, or 8 plus, which is an undrivable road. Or
I'm saying 3, 4.
4. Yeah. For the two. Mr. Flashlight, sir, where do you say this road rates? Was it 4 to 8 plus, or no one?
No, there's no pothole.
And then photo 3, Mr. Van Leer, sir, what would you say about this?
Definitely possible.
So,
Thank you.
so what does the AI think? Photo 1, so it said there was no pothole,
So that's wrong. 1.
Mr. Fleischhausen, there isn't currently a pothole, but there is a raise of concern as there is some structural damage to the road, so it was raised to 24. And photo 3, Mr. Van is 8 plus, catastrophic.
Topic. So we wanted to see what a road would look like and be composed of. So we got this idea from the CSIR team. From the CSIR team which we contacted, and they said that she make a great as it's a professional way to show what roads and how it should look like. So we gathered materials, we gathered an empty sanitizer bottle from one of the classrooms and cut it in half and put in coal, rubber, resin, and plastic from glue gun. And we had no clue what we were doing. And we tried cutting it out after we thought it was hard, it just fell apart. So for our second attempt, we tried a different approach. We limited the amount of things that we used, as well as using see-through bottles instead of a sanitizer bottle. And we put in a base over the weekend, and these were the results on Monday. And GD print results. We wanted to solve another issue on the online visibility at night. And how we wanted to solve this issue was to create 3D printed websites. So all you have to do is take solar panels and LED lights and put it into the casing of the bottom 2 models here. And you won't have to go around when you're driving back from school, driving back to school from Lily, wondering that's what you're going to be late for because driving will take months constantly. So we also designed normal websites to use in the summer when the fog is strong. Our first design wasn't exactly up to scale. It was quite small, and it wasn't really realistic at all. It's just a bunch of shapes. So then we went back to the drawing board and tried to make it more realistic, adding holes for drawers and also spaces for solar panels and LED lights. And we had to use specific shapes because rosters are made out of plastic, so they're not the strongest thing around. So we also have to change other factors to make it as strong as possible, and that's just weight distribution. So we used a diamond and an octagonal roadster to even the pressure.
In conclusion, we have thoroughly enjoyed the Future Fit curriculum and feel it has helped us significantly. From being boring old sheep to creative system thinkers, Future Fit has opened our minds to what the world is really like. It has helped us solve real-world problems that wouldn't have been possible to do without Future Fit. Going on to our project, I feel our project in a whole was a success. We fixed a relevant problem leading towards saving lives and paving the way to a smoother, safer future. Reflecting on our pothole molds that eventually resulted in a success. The first mold was a failure, as it did not have the strength and structure. As we cut the tar out of its mold, it crumbled into pieces. This was because we used resin and did not let it set for long enough. We realized that we needed to put it approach, not use resin and let it sit for long enough. In the second attempt, we learned from our mistakes. We ensured that we didn't use resin and let it sit for long enough. The result was outstanding. Our tar mold was as solid and firm as anything. We gained a lot of respect from the people within our community as we openly listened to what they had to say. This helped us as the community supported us. Our group's collaboration made high standards. It's clear that our success is largely due to the teamwork and mutual respect that was produced throughout the project. From the start, we established clear communication and made sure everyone knew exactly what to do.
What are the challenges that you group as a whole face?
Following a strict schedule.
What is the favorite part of the project?
My favorite part of the project was doing the research and learning about all the intricate things that happen to our roads.
Working as a team and sharing.
Our favorite part of the project is probably connecting with all of the people that are involved in this industry.
Thank you very much.
Questions? Some more questions?
So, tell us more about it, because obviously this is quite a limited project. How would you foresee who would do the repairs? Have you got to that point of where it could happen? Your mates really like
A
the
little bit
project.
delayed with live streaming, I think.
So we chatted to the Department of Transport, and they said that like in the next 5 years, they're planning to redo most of the road and then implement a sidewalk policy. Implement a sidewalk to reduce fatalities as well. And that includes, they said that they were going so basically, when we went to Ocean Plastics, they told us about how they follow the government to get people working for young people, as in like young labor. So then the government is planning to do the same thing when doing the sidewalks and fixing the roads. So I just want to know what the government, because the municipality doesn't go on their own key. This is the government of transport. So they're the ones that are going to be organizing the road.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Costing, James. You guys work out the cost for laying this type of products compared to the whole tar, maybe per square meter or anything like that. Have you got any details like that?
Fortunately for our prototypes, we got everything for free. But in terms of costing and actually laying down the road, when we spoke to the construction company that works in the Portland Northwest, they explained that around each cubic meter, it costs around around 2,000 to 2,300, depending on the road. So depending on the grade of roads.
Just a quick question. Can you tell us, around the world they've used plastic and they've used rubber in various different projects. Have you compared this to any of the other projects, for example, longevity of the project? And how well this stands up to use over time? Have you looked at what's happened elsewhere?
This one we have, so it's being done in the UK, and also the CSR is doing a paper and doing lots of research on it. So the CSR, which is like the research industry of South Africa, they did a 1 kilometer section road in Gauteng, towards the northwest, made of rubber and hot asphalt. So when we contacted them, they said that using our own for a couple of sections would be a good idea to do another, because there's a higher rate of cars driving over the road to see how it's actually going to happen. So people have tried to do it, but they haven't seen how it is, or major roads like the NG.
Do you want to just explain a little bit about the Marshall testing? Or the Marshall test?
So Marshall test is basically what laboratories do. So majority of companies that create asphalt, before they sell a bunch of assholes to get a road something. They're proposing to the Department of Transport that they get the lab to do a Marshall bracket, similar to what we did over here, showing each layer of the road was going to be composed of, and they put it under high pressure test. So for example, they put it in different temperatures, the heat and the cold, how much weight it can expand and falling apart.
And so I think just building on that question, the comparison between recycled plastic roads and normal tarred asphalt roads, what did you find there? Did you find anything?
So we didn't manage to actually do the test, but we did find usage. So using plastic in the roads, it can increase the durability and the longevity of it. Because since there's plastic between the roads, as Noah explained, as particles form when water leaks to the ground. So then when it leaks through, the plastic's going to be there and it'll hopefully reduce the amount of water that gets to reduce the rate of particles. And it's been proven actually in Jeffrey's Bay, where they use plastic bags and put it into the road, and no particles are formed, and it was developed a couple of years ago. So it was
Richard back.
Yes, question, but I just have a quick question. Just a lovely sense of collaboration, using each other's skills, listening up. It's beautiful to be a part of this your process. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe just at this point from viewers at home, so in the part of this process of the presentation, we talk about collaboration. Collaboration is not division of labor or work. So you won't often see all the boys taking equal amounts of time to present, some might, but the rationale behind that is it's a strength-based thing. So we work to the group's strengths and their gifts and what they've done. Ms. McKenzie worked a lot with the groups on them, on this. And so, yeah, you won't necessarily see 4 boys each talking for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. They would have contributed in some way. Hopefully it comes out in the presentation. Right, let's get going.
Good morning, everyone. Here to witness the lemon revolution. I won't speak too much, my wife will come at the end, but enjoy the video we're to play for you, and I'll be back later on.
All my fellow boys try to make a difference. We've been gifted with the platform and the resources that other people have. And we want to use these things to try and make a difference in the world. We identify that there's a problem on this planet, and that's the fact that we're not going to be able to live on it for much longer. So we take it upon ourselves to try and change this. We want to be the difference.
communities. What is our project about? Well, our project is situated around changing mindsets. We are looking at the younger population, especially people that are in underprivileged areas. These communities usually aren't gifted with resources to see what we're going to be like in the next 20 years. See, the planet is going into a phase where we don't know if we're going to have a future for our kids. And our idea is to change that with the kids of now. We want to have a regeneration mindset and try and teach the people of tomorrow that if we don't save the planet today, then that won't be a possibility. So what we plan to do is we use trees in place, and we started locally in our own reserve. We have planted 3 trees in the Michael House Reserve by the community houses. And these trees are helping us to generate revenue, which is going to help us expand this to the underprivileged schools and communities nearby. The first school that we expanded to is Indaba. We're going to go there, we're going to interview the headmaster, a few of the students, and we're going to help them gain knowledge about how our world is going to be in the future. Through this, we're hoping that we can save the people of tomorrow as we want to live our lives today. How did we get where we are now? Well, it started off with us being quite blind as to what we're getting into. We were very blurry on the subject and we didn't know what we wanted to do. So we decided to take a deep dive and see what the world's problems are. We started off in South Africa and we saw that apartheid had created a big shift in people's mindsets. And we saw that labor jobs were something that our presidents want. So we decided to come up with the idea of creating a model university that helps you do workshop skills. And then we really thought about this and saw that this idea wasn't really tangible. So we decided to switch it up. That's revenue of about 2 to 1%, and then put that into planting trees in the world. Of course, this isn't quite tangible either way. These people that are in power, their mindsets are set on getting money. And to change that would be like trying to flip a boat that's at sea. You can't really do it. So we decided to look more local, the future generations. In this, we saw that if we try to change the minds of the future generations now, then by the time that we are in power, we'll be having rejuvenated mindsets. And we want to regenerate the minds that have been corrupted. That's what our project is. We are tree trust, and our goal is to change the minds of tomorrow. How do you plan to fund our project, and how do you promote the project?
Well, we're planning to do this by creating an Instagram account. This account will be seen by many of people because it is a very popular social platform. And if they said they can speak the word, the donation page. You can find a link to this page on our Instagram account. This website is called Backup Buddy, and this website was created by Paul Michaels, Patrick Richard Schofield. We formed this account with the help of Mrs. Body. Backup Buddy's platform allows people to come together and support causes that people believe in. Backup Buddy has raised over 550 for more than 44,000 causes since 2015. Backup Buddy's evidence of impact stories have been featured in major South African news platforms, including Bible, Sunday Times, and SABC News. Backup Buddy has a criteria that campaigns must meet before they are verified. The platforms must require 500,000 rand, and currently we are at 4,800. The money that gets donated will go to the Markhouse School account, and when we want to plant trees, we will just simply ask them to get us what we need, and then simply plant the trees. What trees are planting and why?
Well, our group will be planting lemon trees, and we'll be planting them at our community by the reserve where all the top housing is. The reason we chose lemon trees is because the climate environment is perfect for the lemon trees. Cool winters, warm summers, and enough rain, which means it's perfect for the lemon trees. And the lemons need plenty of sunlight. The lemon trees also have health benefits. Lemons are packed with vitamin C, which is good for boosting the immune system, which will help our staff members here at the community. And then, obviously, there are beautiful trees. So I think it will make the environment very beautiful around the staff hub. And they're very sustainable. Planting lemon trees help our government become more self-sufficient. By growing their own lemons, the community wouldn't have to rely as much on imported fruits from other areas, being able to be a little bit cheaper. This helps create a more fresh, healthy, produce for the living that are our houses.
The irrigation system, why do we need it?
Well, in some areas it can be very dry and quite hard, and water is obviously extremely really need water. And the irrigation system a bit of research and really critical water spikes are cheap and easy to make. Roots of the plants, and it'll be a direct water supply, so now it's lost into groundwater, and yeah, it's some places it's hard to see very hard to get water.
That's enough.
We thought the method of system thinking, where we think in a way that's not linear, and we think in a way that embraces the broader picture and the grand scheme of things. And I think it's taught me how to engage back with well. Very well, and I think we're going to go to a very places with this.
What was one of your favorite things about it?
I think my favorite thing about Future Fit was the idea of getting to help people and getting to do it in our own way and having the platform to do it. Being in grade 9, it's very hard to have a voice, especially in places such hierarchy. So then the Future Fit really gave us the platform we need to feel like we are better. What was your future like?
Well, in the beginning, I found Future Fit very difficult because I thought we were going to find jobs the rest of the year. But then I spoke to Mr. Noel and he said, trust me, this is going to be an amazing experience. And I think he was right because during the end of Future Fit, I really enjoyed bonding with each other, coming up with ideas, seeing if they'll work out, if they won't. Yeah, and I just really looked at a new perspective of the planet and how we must preserve nature because it's so important and most people don't realize that. So in Future Fit, it's just needed preserve.
What's the end of your future? Do you think one of your favorite?
One of my favorite things was definitely teamwork and getting to know the people in my group. Working together has just been a lot of fun and coming up with ideas. So working together. What are your thoughts on Future Fit?
In the beginning, it was a bit weird, like it was very different compared to the classroom. Like here, we're in a group of 4 boys and 22 boys. It was a bit confusing at first.
probably left behind class. But once you go further into the project, I think it taught us quite a lot about the world and how bad the world is now, and how making us better people, like trying to make the world a better place. What was one thing you did? I think having a free time was very important. But yeah, just like being in a group of 4 boys that you don't really know, and like, you come close to each other. Yeah.
So, how have you found the future for June? Sure. It's been a journey. Lots of ups and downs. The good times in this room, and hard work. Yeah, lots of yeah.
And one of your favorite things?
I'd have to say the team. I think working with people you don't normally work with is a really nice thing. Yeah.
See, now, as a debater, I'm usually used to letting a point stretch about 3 minutes and then letting an argument stretch about 8 minutes. Don't ask me how the math adds up. Some questions are meant to be left unanswered. But luckily, this project gives me plenty to talk about. It's not just about trees, it's about hope, it's about lemons, it's about how we're going to be the Beyonce of sustainability. So let me get into the big idea. At our heart, our project is about rewriting the narrative. Instead of seeing big businesses as polluters, we're asking, what if they became heroes? Instead of leaving problems to our future generations, we're planting solutions for today. Think of it as turning pollution into pollination. Because nothing says future ready like a lemon tree. But on that note, why choose lemon trees? We were asked, why not avocado trees? Well, because honestly, no one needs more avocado toast. But lemons, they're versatile, sturdy, and in absolute mood. Plus, who doesn't want to feel zest in their life? Pause. Also, let's not forget that lemon tree is a gift that keeps on giving. It doesn't just sit there looking pretty. It works hard. It's an overachiever in the plant world. Now let's talk about our aha moment. Our early ideas were a bit like toddlers trying to walk. Wobbly, but full of potential. The portable university, amazing in theory, but felt like trying to reinvent a new world. The cleanup app, great, but something you can hold that you cannot hold in your hands really. Or when we first finally landed on the lemon trees, it was like discovering that the answer had been hiding in plain sight. We had spoken to the C blockers of this year that had done feature fit last year, and we realized that the best projects are things that come from in the heart, things that are close to home, and things that are easy for us to achieve. It turns out that the simplest ideas often have the biggest impact. So now, let's talk about the human element. Let's be real. The project isn't about us. It's about the communities we're working with and the power of partnership. If we planted the trees and walked away, it would be like giving someone a car with no keys. If we gave the money that we got in our donation page away, then it would be so now I'll get into my hook. If this were a debate, I think I'll be winning the speaker right now. But why? Let's remember what Ms. Cass said. We need to have ethos, logos, and pathos. And our ethos, our commitment to the planet, our logos, our solid stance and strategy, and our pathos. Because who doesn't love a good lemon? It's basically the planet. Spoiler alert, it's definitely voting for us. Now, as I'm closing, at the end of the day, this project isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the whisper that grows into a roar. Powered by lemons, love, and a lot of value. So here's to a future where trees outnumber problems. Sustainability outlaws trends. And the only thing left us today is what we need to do with all these lemons. Thank you.
Questions?
What did you think about your choice of tree type? So we had gone and we had spoken to Mr. Saunders about it first, and then he had opened our minds to the idea that monkeys are a real problem in this area, especially. So then, when we're looking at citrus trees, we should be looking at ways that the citrus trees will be planted without having the problem of monkeys, because then we're kind of giving them something that will bring other problems on top of it, so it becomes obsolete. So then we had seen what the tendencies are in Jamula, and then we had done research about it, and then we had seen that lemon trees are things that don't really attract monkeys, and especially in an area like Jamula or in Egyptians around there, monkeys aren't a real problem when it comes to lemon trees. So then we decided that since they grow really fast and they're really easy to plant and maintain, we had created this irrigation system that also help with the communities around there to maintain the water supply coming to the trees. And then we decided that that's just the best way that we can go about
it. You spoke a lot about what you enjoy about FutureFit, and then we're obviously talks about the ups and downs. You just maybe a word from each of you, maybe the things that you battle with and were difficult.
I think it's trying to get the work done, because you don't have like a teacher like there, like behind you saying get the work done. It's all on you. I think that's a big change, and it's helped us a lot for the future to like for exams get it done. It's not studying early and stuff like that. So I think it's helped us a lot.
Okay. So I'll be honest, yeah, it's really the laziness thing. It gets quite boring. I'll be honest with you. I did hop into a few Dream League games during the education cycle, but I think when you're doing something for that long of a period of time and you have that much time to think about it, your mind almost runs to a point where you feel like you can't run anymore. And then that's when the best ideas are generated, but at the same time when the ideas stop being generated. So I think that was the biggest issue for us as well.
For me, it's definitely not having a structure. Like you go into a breakaway room and you just, like you can sit on your iPad and watch YouTube or something like that. Yeah, it's not having a structure. It's just,
and also deciding on a project. We at one point we had 3 different projects at once, all trying to do research on them, and then eventually came to this.
Can you tell us a bit more about your irrigation device and what made you come up with that, and how did you create that prototype?
So sure. I didn't.
So with our irrigation device, it started when we were looking at the issues with planting citrus trees in areas or communities like Richardson, and we took what happens in my class, of course, the monkeys, and then of course with the non-rainy season to be winter, and we decided to see how we can make it more accessible for the communities that aren't able to create a flowing water source throughout the year. And then we decided to create an irrigation system that you can stick into the ground. It's very accessible. It's very easy to make. You can make it with resources that you have at home. As long as you have a spike, then you will be able to make one, because then you just have to poke a hole in the bottle on the side and then poke it into the ground, and then it should be working all good. And then when we created the irrigation system, we realized that that was the way that we can help make it sustainable. One of the ways to help make it sustainable. Our main sustainability thought process was the fact that we're trying to change the minds of the future. But then, of course, we'll always take the brown gates.
Sorry, it's the accountant in me. From a sustainability point of view, you thought about the fact that you've chosen lemons and to encourage them to think about the products that you can make from lemons in order to do the funding of it. So I'm thinking of the community in terms of, marmalade, you've got lemonade, you've got cleaning products, you've got all sorts of products that can come from lemons. And you're thinking about a funding and community-driven project. And any of that sort of consideration come into the funding side of this, so that it could basically pay for itself over time. And also with CSR, if you come to certain, if you get to companies that are, think about the cool drinks places and all the rest. If they align their model with it, and they'd be interested in it, but that self-sustaining idea of you've chosen a product which isn't indigenous, but you've chosen it for its productivity.
So was that any part of the conversation or discussion in your group?
Honestly, when we came up with the idea of lemon trees, that wasn't actually part of it. And then when we went to go plant the trees and we talked to Mr. Ellen about it, he opened our minds to the fact that the lemons are actually going to be something that's ongoingly sustainable, because they will be creating more seeds for the future, and they'll also be able to create or generate revenue for the future. And of course, they also look pretty nice. So it was something that came along later on in our project when we had already went into motion.
So now that they're planted, will you still continue in some personal way to be connected to those trees?
Oh yes, we're going to be monitoring the trees from now till our A block, and we'll be seeing how they continue growing. And if it ends up doing extremely well, then we'll continue planting more trees, because at the end of the day, you can't do too much.
Nice.
Cool. That's all time for Last one is
Literally for economic video, we just said it there. Like, wasn't it? No, that went better than I expected. That's what I'm going to do. Right? Oh yeah, they're doing a skit. I have to push. Chai. It's chai time. You know, hey, go. Why did you eat this kid? Why did you eat this kid? It's good.
Ten to the waste that South Africa generates is recycled, leaving the other 90% everywhere but in our bin.
Just cash. So, how do we start? Well, we started with many ideas. One of our main ideas was bioconcrete, which we kind of elaborated on, but we realized it wasn't actually a realistic goal for us to do. Then we went on to sustainable building, also realized it wasn't one of the things that would work, and then the financial area.
People we talked to multiple people, some international, some national. For example, a CEO who operates Cash for Trash. He currently locates himself in the Danish country, oh no, not Danish, Dutch, Netherlands. So, and he is planning to bring his company down to South Africa, starting in Durban. We also spoken to the head, I Love Not. He's just in the small little village next to my house where they gave us the idea of the reward system. We also got the head of feed staff for the kitchen, Gina Mitchell-Ennis. We spoke to her with other stuff, with collaboration. The CEO of Dairy Fair for sponsorship, and more to come down. Now, the 3 steps. The what? A recycler. Trash to cash. We're going to take in your trash and we want to give you a reward. And especially, we designed this to engage schools in reducing land pollution by involving students in recycling activities. We aim to tackle the waste that harms our environment. Our goal is not just to manage waste, but to create awareness.
Why do we do this? Well, the reason we actually do this is when we went to Zinzani, we realized the amount of pollution in the area and how much free time people have on their hands due to them not having a job, for either not being qualified or for family reasons they have to take care of the family. So we thought, okay, so how can we solve pollution in their area and give them a way to have an income or source, so trash to cash. This problem solved one of the main problems, trash in the area and giving them an income. Also, it would let anyone do it, so kids can do it, parents can do it in any free time they have. So if, one of the big issues was, well, how could we get recycle with them having no reason to recycle? Or simple, give them a reason to recycle. So we give them a reward for them to bring in a certain amount of trash, and that amount of trash would lead them to go to one of our local shops, which would be part of the spa, or to create one of our own, which would lead them to buy any necessities like food, clothes, cooking equipment, anything like that, even toys.
How have we implemented this? So we basically come up with a reward system. So what we do with the reward system, when people recycle using our system, they can earn points and they can get something in return. There's a website that goes along with it with many customizable features that I was speaking about just now. There's a drop-off site that is accessible to people so they can get in their recycling. We have spoke to people who would like to sponsor us, and then we'll get into that a bit later. And then we are going to test this at Microlast, and if it's successful, we'll obviously move it into design. So, our website. What is it? It's our website with many interactive features and functions. There are many functions, features such as the homepage. That on the homepage just gives you a bit of an intro, and gives you a button to take you to our login where you can enter details and stuff. You get within the next page you'll have your profile, basically it has your information, key points, how many points you have, your levels, and so you have a quest page as well, which you can have all quests, and then once it's verified, you will get points allocated from that quest. You have a page, just like a fun little competition to motivate boys to recycle, because the top 3 each month will get a bonus amount of points. You have an info page. Basically, it tells you about how to recycle different materials and how to use it through our system. You also have a barcode scanner. Takes you to a camera that you can scan a barcode, and then once that reaches our system, we take it and then we allocate it. But when you scan it, it'll have your information, because if you scan it through our app, we create a database. With that database, sort of user information and stuff. So when you scan it, it'll obviously say this person scanned it. And then so how have we done this? So it's all kind of interlinked with the points-based reward system. It's involved around that, because basically just incentivizing people to recycle and get a reward about it. And also, why did we do this? To encourage people to recycle and enjoy doing it. To motivate people to recycle, even though they're doing it for themselves. But in reality, it's just to keep our communities sustainable.
Okay, the rewards. I spoke to, earlier, I spoke to the head of the kitchen in our feed, Gina Mitchell-Ennis, and she used to run the coffee shop next to the indoor center. So we've came with a plan, and this plan will be for the rewards. So this is what I call the 3-box reward system: yellow, green, and red. You have a certain amount of points for each box. Each box will have a specific reward for maybe the red one being worth 750 points. You'll have a 500 milliliter Coke, or in the green box you'll have your little Oreos pack in there. It's all different rewards, and these are coming from suppliers who are willing to actually give us this for free. So there's no way of money having to be exchanged. It's all free, and this is from people who are willing to do it. And now with our barcode system, literally about a couple hours ago or last night, Mr. Mickelberg standing on this that railing, go be sitting on this chair, me standing where Mr. Sevenoaks is, realized that we made a flaw, but we fixed that whole thing. So, the plan is that we'll have a roll of barcode stickers. These stickers of barcodes will be completely randomized from a machine that we already have, and we'll give this to Feeding, because most of the products that gets recycled or is actually from Feeding. This, you'll be able to put a sticker onto the whatever you want to do. For example, a 500 milliliter Coke, you can actually put the sticker on, scan it, and then from that scan point, we will receive that and we can give you a certain amount of points for it. From there, we'll also extend to the houses. So, for example, your house mother will have a roll of these. So, for example, let's say you have third-party items like maybe your Asian cup of noodles from Taiwan. Yes, I have that. So then you can go to your house mother, ask for them, you can stick it, you scan it, and we will pick it up. We'll give you a certain amount of points when we collect it from a drop site. And with the rural communities, we'll have a book and stamp system, because we know and understand that not all of them, especially with some of the students, they don't have phones. So we'll have a book and stamp system, as well as a weighing machine system. So with most of them, they will bring a whole clear bag of weights, a specific rule amount that will be placed in, and they will get a certain amount of points for this. And we'll be linking with SPAR. SPAR and Naughties, I've spoken to them, and they said with the account we can exchange a digital currency to them or digital money to them, and they can actually give us some products for us to give them to the communities. This way it helps with the security issue that doesn't involve thievery or more of that.
Then we get into the design, which is my part of the design. I originally came up with quite a simple and sleek design, and I decided to 3D print it. My first design didn't go as planned. You can pass it around. I realized it wasn't good enough for you guys, and I decided to upscale it to a larger model of the actual layout of the design. So I'm going to explain the 3 small parts of how the design actually works. This part of this is the entrance part. You have your office where the person will be for any scan, for when they scan the QR codes from when the trash comes, and then rescan it to identify that's supposed to be scanned. We allocate them a point. If they can identify if that's recyclable, this is where they're going to drop off the trash. So you drop off your trash here. These back here are 3 garages for where you're going to put a bin here, one here, and one here. There are going to be 3 types of bins: plastic, glass, and general trash. The plastic and glass, you'll be allocated points, and the general trash is just for general trash. There are no points allocated here. There you have three employees. These employees will be either people from rural areas coming to learn about how to recycle properly. They will get a reward system also from our tuck shop. Or it's students who want to just give them their time to this, and also will be rewarded for gaining points as you would do at recycling. So you have your 3 trash throwing points, and then this is where all the trash will be piled. This is where the trash will be sorted into recycling and scanned and then put into the trash. The location of this will be at the old gate for easy access for garbage trucks to come, collect their trash bins, and then leave without causing any disturbance in our school. This is the simplicity, and then this is where all the storage will go, where we'll have our general stickers and all the clothes and stuff you would need, and gloves and safety equipment for this. And then for the roof, you have a roof like this. around the whole building. This roof will have the solar panels which will power the whole thing, and it doesn't have to have too much power. It just needs to supply lights, just scanners and a computer and any other general stuff, but it's not too much power that will be taken out. And then those will be placed on the roof, and there'll only be 3 which would power this whole place.
Moving on to the my part of the session, I was originally given Kobe's task of finding the rewards-based system, but 2 weeks in, I eventually shifted into finding funding for this entire project, finding ways we could generate income other than just selling our trash, and calculating equipment costs and costs for the building site. For the advertisements, we intend on running advertising focused on preventing explicit content like gambling, alcohol, or politics in any way, shape, or form. I have 3 ad units ready for when the website actually gets published, AdMob is paying, or Adobe AdMob is paying 50 cents per view, and we are estimated to make 1.8 per month from advertising. Moving on to funding and expenses, I've collected a total of 9.5K from Dairyfield, which is a dairy producing company in Howick, and Indaba, which is a construction company in the Northeast. Our operational expenses include 300 Rand per week if we pay the person working there, or if we want to do voluntary work, like our students will be able to get service points for doing this with us. Infrastructure, we use recycling asphalt. Gobi predicted that the cost of the buyback center would be 29,000 Rand, and this is excluding solar panels, inverters, batteries, and for the roof, which would total 46,000 Rand. Moving on to equipment expenses, we focused on the safety of our employees, and these include industrial gloves, reflective jackets, industrial pants, and a barcode printer, and the total cost of that would be 5.7. Lastly, I'll be moving on to the premium subscription within the website, which I did with Kobe at the beginning of the Future Fit journey. We focused on the subscription websites, and we took inspiration from Spotify Premium, and we decided that a user that has the premium features will get a 15% increase on recycled materials, exclusive discounts on the in-app store for the community, and early access features such as early software updates, personalized recycling recommendations, which is better and more efficient than just general tips.
So onto one of the end, well, what went wrong? There were many things that went wrong. Technical issues with Eli. He had a lot of technical issues with his website. The funding cost, there was a big concern that this is actually going to be extremely expensive for us to implement into our school. We had many ideas, from the beginning, so pivoting on ideas, and then one of our biggest things was adapting to challenges. But all of this in a whole really taught us how to work as a group, be innovative, and learn how to find a solution in a group and not find a way just to fight. So, in conclusion, Trash to Cash shows how recycling and rewards, combining recycling and rewards, can genuinely inspire people to recycle and adapt and eco-friendly habits. So we, through our research and field experiments and tests, personal tests, we understand the importance of an innovative idea that could impact our community and reduce the waste in our community.
Our website isn't just about recycling. It offers more rewards and accessible ways for people, especially in rural communities, to access more easier recycling, making it more convenient for urban settings.
Trash to Cash aims to build community emotion, aid recycling, and inspire other schools to do the same. With 90% of waste being recyclable, but only 10% actually being recycled in South Africa, this project could help close the gap and ensure recyclable materials are being used for the better.
Ultimately, we are committed to making recycling simple, rewarding and accessible, starting in our school and expanding to places like Tanzania and Crystal Springs. We want to promote recycling within our community, and we seek to inspire collective action to protect the environment and create a brighter future for all.
This impacts our communities and our schools. Why must we live in a polluted landscape when there are so many ways to tackle this? Pollution poisons our future, darkening the promise of cleaner skies and greener lands. We are forced to confront a devastating truth. Unless we act, our lives will be more and more affected by the scourge of litter and plastic waste. Trash for Cash turns apathy into action and waste into opportunity. By turning your trash into cash, the choice is yours. Either we make the change, or the change makes us.
Questions? Any questions? Yes.
So interesting. Lots of moving parts in your project. Lots of pieces that seem quite difficult to bring together. But I think the one big question I've got is, so what do you do with it? How do you know that it's being recycled properly? Where's it going from your recycling centre?
So we've actually contacted many recycling plants. One of them was Ocean Pollutions, and we would discuss how they would come collect our trash and then reuse that trash for better things and using it for different things. So we made many contacts with other businesses that will take our trash and use it for recycling. That have been well known. And the company with I Love Naughties uses tools to make it better. And they come, they take the trash and they use it to actually build, like they take it into communities and they use that to build certain like toys and stuff with the recycled trash.
And that wouldn't add to your costs? Is
No,
that
no.
done at their costs?
So they would pay us for the trash.
Just as an observation, just as an opportunity, there's actually legislation from the producers. So people that manufacture plastic goods, they've got to recover 50% of the produce they put out in South Africa. It's a new legislation that's just come through, and they've got pickers that they put out into the communities. So it's also to get hold of the plastic producers, and they have a legal requirement that they actually have to buy their own products. So that's where South African law has actually gone in the last year. So lots of ways to get it back. And they reuse it to make pellets to go back into their production system.
Just a question on timeline. When do you want to start this project? I was really impressed by your revenue generating on the social platforms and how easy and effortlessly you seem to have made that sound. And so, yes, sound. And so practically, where do you want to start?
So it's quite a big thing to start this thing. You know, we obviously need to find a way we can fund the actual building aspect of it. But if we could get the website going and just generate a little bit of income over a long period of time, you know, that could be a really big start. So maybe in a couple of years, maybe 2 to 3 years, if you could get enough funding, we could even start a small job site just that would take plastic, and then from plastic further go onto glass and then general waste.
With additional to that, the person we talked to this year of who is currently in Netherlands, their trash for cash, their alone, they are only aiming in the plastic section. That alone, it took them 5 years just to even get started. So with this, us getting less than 6 months in trying to get all of these ideas, we would want to try get this soon, but like it takes a long time for it.
Was that an AI generated Mr. Jarvis voice, or was that?
That was the real person.
Right. Thank you very much, guys. Well done. As well, team outside. I'll just check where it is. It should be set up. And obviously, for our guests, please just allow our guests to get to the team first. Right, thank you everyone. We've got 3 more, and then that's it for today. We'll continue the program Monday, but up next is pot plants, greening the world with seed bombs. What's that?
Picture this.
Morning. My name is Noah, and my role in the group was involved with editing videos to showcase our seed-bomb project creatively and effectively. I also contributed to a hands-on process in making the seed bombs and preparing them preparing them so that they are both functional and impactful.
Morning everyone, my name is Richard Knott and my role in the group required a lot of research and physical work, just like the rest of the group. But my specific job was to work out the best method to make the seed bombs and how we could bring the project to life.
My name is Nathan, and my role in the group was to research and organize and meet with external people to better our project and improve it.
Morning, my name is Omif, and I'm responsible for the research of the drones.
You might be wondering, why are we doing this? Well, we had an inspiration: Food and Trees for Africa. Food and Trees for Africa is a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting environmental restoration and sustainability in South Africa. Recognizing a severe challenge caused by deforestation, soil degradation, and climate change, the organization took innovative steps to address these issues, particularly in rural communities like those in KwaZulu-Natal. Their approach involves empowering people through education and hands-on action to create greener and more resilient environments. One of the standout initiatives was using a similar thing towards seed bombs to plant indigenous trees in degraded landscapes. Seed bombs, a simple mixture of seeds, clay, and water and compost, were distributed to volunteers, including school children. These bombs were scattered across barren hillsides and areas prone to erosion. The seeds, protected by the clay, were designed to germinate under tough conditions, bringing new life to areas. Over time, the growing trees began to stabilize the soil and reduce erosion, and provide shelter and food for wildlife. This grassroots project did not just tackle environmental issues, but also unite communities, inspiring participants, especially children, to become green warriors. Over time, once barren areas were transformed into thriving landscapes. Our idea doesn't just impact the land, but it also impacts things such as bees and wildlife. Trees create habitats and food resources for birds, insects, and mammals. This allows them not just to have food, but also to have a home. Our healthy ecosystem supports greater biodiversity, enhancing resilience. Trees also attract pollinators, which help nearby plants reproduce and thrive. This also impacts plant diversity, creating a more balanced and robust ecosystem.
Imagine if we could plant forests, bring color back to barren fields, and transform empty spaces into lush greenery, all with just the throw of a hand. That's the power of seed bombs. You may think, what are these balls of mud? Well, it's more than that. They contain what the future could look like. Let me tell you the steps it takes to make seed bombs, or pot plants as we may call them. We firstly gather our ingredients like seeds, compost, clay, and fertilizer. We mix this all with a bit of water. When it comes to selecting the different types of seeds to use, it all depends on the environment and whether the type of seed is most likely to thrive. Now, once we have all these things mixed and rolled into balls the size of tennis balls, now we can dry them out and start the process of bringing life back to soil. That's the simple steps to make something small that can change the world for the better. Choosing the right seed,
is a research task which takes time and critical thinking. You need to prioritize native plant seeds because they are best suited for the climate. The common options are wildflowers, attracting pollinators, grasses, which help stabilize the soil and prevent soil erosion and loss of greenery. We also have to consider climate for drought-resistant plants, and choosing the right seeds for each environment increases the chance that our seed bombs will successfully grow and flourish, creating a lasting impact on the land. We have got advice from various people who I would like to thank: Mr. Vincent, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Nothard, for your support and knowledge in this task, especially for the ingredients to help us bring the seed bombs to life. We have done our research and completed our tasks, so now we can stand here and share our journey and our idea to saving the planet one pot plant at a time. We have worked hard to get to where we are today. We first started thinking of ideas to do with transport issues. Then we went to irrigation issues, but to solve those big problems, you have to start off small. And that's why we agreed to work on seed bombs as a project, because a small thing can have a big impact on the world, restoring nature and creating a better future for us and those who come after us. We have done a lot of research on how we could bring this project to life, and the answer is through investors. It will be a way of restoring forestation, but it will be non-profitable to shareholders. That's why, if you're looking to invest, it's not necessarily just into a company, but into the future.
So, what do we know about seed bombs in the past? Well, to put it simply, they've been used for a long time. They've been used as an ancient farming technique by the Japanese, and have more recently been used as a gardening method, but have not really been used as a rehabilitation method that we use today. Guerrilla Gardeners is an organization that uses seed bombs to rehabilitate and to plant plants in areas that are urban and have no greenery. If you want to know more, you can scan the QR code and go to the history page on our website. Our seed bombs are filled with nutrients and agents to improve the germination rate of the successes. These being fertilizers, aquasorb, which is a water absorbent as the name states, seeds, which are specific to the bomb depending on their needs, soil and a clay as a binding agent, a carbon food source depending on how arid the area is, and the same for a microbial solution in areas like quarries. So the type of plants that we use will vary in its stages. So we first started with aloes and other hardy plants that are similar to succulents, as they don't need much water and they're very good at breaking up soil. Further then we'll use grasses to attract biodiversity along with ground cover plants to further break up the soil and bring more nutrients into the environment. Thus, with more biodiversity we can plant more shrubs and trees. So, the people that can use seed bombs often depends on the needs. But we have identified 3 areas where we think it will be most efficient. So first being urban planners and landscapers, as we think seed bombs are an efficient way to plant a lot of plants without requiring a lot of manpower. Secondly, we have gone with environmentalists for the obvious reason, which is why we want to use seed bombs, to rehabilitate the world and make it a better place, as about 1 million deserted places are left in the world today. And lastly, we said farmers. The plants can carry a large area and have been used before. We can see this. And also carbon credits. Carbon credits are something we think are going to become a big thing in the future. Thus we think seed bombs might be sought after too.
Seed bomb drones. These drones are designed for the efficient delivery for seeds to aid reforestation and support agricultural efforts, offering a quicker and more scalable solution than traditional planting methods. There are two main types of drones are used for this purpose. A fixed wing drone, which covers a large area and are ideal for reforesting the forest regions. A multi-rotor drone. These drones are smaller, more agile, and perfect for precise seed dropping in targeted areas.
These drones are equipped with advanced technology to ensure efficiency and accuracy. Technology enhances GPS and GPS precision, allowing for accuracy placement. Obstacle detection sensors help the drones avoid collision in the field. Drones are built with lightweight, durable materials like carbon fiber and aluminium, and feature brushless motors for optional thrust. Other important components include high capacity eco batteries for longer flights. Altitude sensors are maintain proper flight height, and even cameras with heat vision and 4K quality to monitor the process in real time. However, there are challenges. Current drones have limited battery life from 20 to 40 minutes, and also the weather conditions disrupt the operations. And they can only carry a limited payload from 10 to 30 seat bombs at a time. Future plans, we are looking ahead and to test and refine our best drone models, and then invest into a factory to produce and sell seed bomb drones at a larger scale, but we haven't worked out the cost of that yet. In conclusion, seed bomb drones have a potential to revolutionize the way we approach global reforestation and agricultural challenges.
Second time.
Are you? I pushed it forward, it's not the comic is not
So, wondering if seed bombs actually work, they do. They have been used in Kenya to replant trees that have been cut down for firewood. And here we can see we tested seed bombs. This was above the Punchbowl Astro, where there was currently no grass, and as water kept washing down there and nothing could grow. And then we decided to throw a bunch of seed bombs, and now grass has grown, and we had 2 weeks of straight rain. And they still managed to grow, so clearly they work. see. So that seed bomb is currently grass seeds.
So you might have missed a bit too.
Any questions?
Have you thought about a specific area in this, or in Nottingham Road or Balgowan that you'd like to, I mean, where would be your first pilot area, would you say?
So we haven't really gone that big yet, but what we have done is we've gone to the quarry up in the reserve and we went to go check that out. And we're hoping that we can spend some time there and monitor our seed bombs there. And we're also hoping there at the back by the dam, there's a dam where the grass doesn't really grow, so we're hoping we can also test it out there.
In your seed, you were talking about the different seeds that you put inside of them. Would you use a single type of seed in there, or would you use a combination of different seeds?
So currently we plan to use a single type of seed, but from what we've gathered, I assume you could use different types of seeds, so it wouldn't make much of a difference. It's just depending on the stuff you put in, they would have to differ sometimes.
If I could ask you just to reflect on one skill that you think you've really had to use and utilize during this whole Future Fit curriculum, what would that be? What would you say that you've one skill that would have been the defining skill that you've really had to implement?
I would say for me it was collaboration. So like the other groups, or most of the groups, we were into various ideas from transport to irrigation. We were going up and down and we just not collaborating at all. And then we found this one idea and we started working together and we started doing things one by ourselves.
For me, it was just like working as a team. In the beginning, we all had our own ideas and some people would just
Emailing people.
So we need critical thinking, so you have to think differently, unlike in the normal classroom.
Great, well done. Future focus, building skills for building transition.
Sort of what a tough active photo after that interactive presentation. But otherwise, let's get straight into it. Saying guests, esteemed board members, educators, and boys. Thank you for granting us this opportunity to present our initiative, Future Focus Education. My name is Soleil.
We are a group of passionate bachelor scholars who deeply believe in the transformative power of education. Today, we're excited to share with you our plan to reshape the career exposure for teachers in underprivileged settings of South. Now, my name is Mr. Farmer, who is going to explain our initial idea.
Good morning, all friends today. My name is Mitchell Muir, also known as Mr. Farmer. So all know that water scarcity is a huge problem in South Africa, made worse by old systems and poor irrigation methods. Overwater damages soil, hurting the environment, making it even harder. To fix this, South Africa needs better irrigation tech, stronger infrastructure, smarter water usage, and sustainable farming methods. These changes will protect our water and make farming better. Toby, the tech guru, will now talk about the techie side of this.
Morning everyone, my name is Toby, also known as just Toby. Initially, our project started off with the design of reinventing the sprinkler. We envisioned a design that incorporated compressed air to significantly improve the distance and reach of the sprinklers. This innovation aims to optimize water distribution and reduce waste, and also improve irrigation efficiency. The concept had a lot of potential and benefits, but there were also a lot of flaws with it. One of the main flaws was that the compressed air would make it extremely expensive to operate. And the complexity of the design, as you can see, raised awareness for maintenance and durability of our products. So here is when we decided to pivot.
Although this was an idea that could have made some kind of a difference, and a project that we could have slid a couple bucks out of,
we realized that this idea wasn't making much of a difference in a way that we would have liked it to. So this is where Mr. Nolse came into play. Starting at A, then ending up on B, and then finally C. And we believe that future-focused education is our C.
Our vision is simple yet ambitious. We want to inspire teenagers in underprivileged communities to think beyond their conventional career paths and explore opportunities that align with their unique passion and talents. While traditional professions like doctors, lawyers, and engineers are essential in our world, we believe we aim to highlight careers that are not only have immense potential, but are often overlooked. Fields such as sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, digital media, sound technology, culinary arts, and even craftsmanship offer exciting avenues for personal and communal growth. Why? Because success has no single definition. Every student deserves the right to see the full spectrum of what possibilities lie ahead. Just have a listen to what Mr. Indaba Togo had to say and how something similar to future focus has impacted his life.
So can you please just start off with your name and
Okay, my name is Indaba.
So where do you currently reside?
I reside in Zinsana Village.
So how long have you been working here at Macros?
So yeah.
So what we just wanted to know was basically your story kind of on how it was to grow up in Tanzania and what opportunities were you handling whilst you were there and how those opportunities affected you to this day.
Okay. Well, to be here, I grew up there since I was a kid, and mostly I just visited Petersburg where my mom resided, and then I went to a school, mainly before was called my class farm school. So changed to a years later, and whilst going to school there, my class was offering partnerships there, and one of the programs they had was basketball and also art. And besides just the programs they offered at school, my class was actually, I think, more or less the founder of Zinzan International. Because at first, it was a place where all the workers that used to work here stayed there. So if you work here, you stay in Zinzan Village. So up until the years later, that created to our municipality, my class sold to the municipality, and then things changed. So growing up there was pretty much a place where opportunities was not there often much. Besides the matter of opportunities we got, but you just went to school, came back, studied, played soccer was most of the things that we used to play from 7 o'clock in the morning, we came back till 3, 4 p.m. And to be honest, my class assisted with actually opening a different perspective of things. And studying art and doing basketball here exposed me to another way of thinking and seeing things that are okay. There's actually basketball and there's also art. Which initially, after I finished my training, that same art that I got here, I used to draw my portfolio. Because I had to draw a portfolio for my interior design course. You had to do a portfolio, and then the portfolio would give you access to being accepted in the varsity. So then, with that knowledge, I was able to get accepted in university, and that's how they actually assisted me. And also, the basketball we played years later on, because I was playing for the municipality for a couple of years after my training, which was like, I finished in 2010. So I think like 2015, that's when I stopped playing because others got into the system and just faded away, and when I had to grow, I had to go and start working and stuff, so I did not have time. I'm not sure if I'm answering all of your questions correctly. I'm not sure if there's anything else maybe that you want to ask.
Also, that was basically that was just quick short. Thank you so much.
No problem.
To bring this vision to life, we organized a career discovery workshop here at my class. This event featured presentations from professionals across a wide range of industries through engaging in a show and tell sessions. Attendees will have the opportunity to learn firsthand about the careers they may have never even considered, from sustainable design to tech innovation, social entrepreneurship, and creative industries like film and sound. Each session was lasted around 10 to 15 minutes and offered students practical insights, including what the career involved, what subjects to take, how to get started, and tips for success.
In these communities, barriers to education and career exploration are deeply rooted. Things ranging from under-resourced schools. Many schools lack basic facilities, teaching materials, and access to technology. Teachers who are often part of the same struggling system face challenges in delivering quality education. Low morale, overcrowded classrooms, outdated curriculum, and minimal individual support leave students feeling disconnected and uninspired about their learning ability and potential. Narrow aspirations. With limited exposure to diverse career paths, students often believe their only option lies in traditional professions like teaching, nursing, or manual labor, reinforcing cycles of economic stagnation. Lack of role models. Few visible examples of success in alternative fields make it difficult for students to imagine paths beyond their immediate surroundings. Addressing these barriers is essential to unlocking the potential of these communities, empowering young people to break free from these constraints and envision a broader, brighter, and better future. Now, Mitchell here will describe the distinct difference between us and most of the other groups.
Here's what the day looked like. 10th of November in the Macomb Center at my class. Around 40 students from grade 8 to 9. The sessions included interactive presentations from experts in sound tech, woodwork, farming, digital literacy, and more. Extras included icebreakers, Q&A sessions, small group discussions, and practical demonstrations. Our approach is intentional. We focus on small, engaging groups to create an environment where meaningful conversations and genuine connections can thrive. By keeping the sessions intimate, we ensure that each participant feels seen, heard, and valued. This setup allows for open dialogue, personalized guidance, and deeper exploration of ideas, breaking down barriers that larger and personal formats often create.
This initiative isn't just about us. It's about building a network of collaboration. We've reached out to many people, including Terry Akers for sound technology, Ian Perry for woodwork, Claire Falconer for arts, Lungi and Akona Kola for quantity survey, Umbu Mkabela for digital literacy, and many others who share our vision for inspiring change. Their contribution, combined with your support, will ensure this event is both impactful and sustainable in the long run.
Essentially, what I'm asking from you is to support us in finding a way to incorporate this initiative into the school's outreach program and anywhere around South Africa to make it bigger, better, and more sustainable. Now, we would like to move on to our live action Future for Reflection. So, earlier on, we heard Mr. Lowe speaking about how Future for looks to embrace strengths of individuals. But our group took that and kind of added a twist. We try to embrace each other's weaknesses and make them better along the process. For example,
my productivity and determination has not always been the best. Sometimes you can catch me playing games on my laptop when I was meant to be working on this PowerPoint you see today. But the Future Fit curriculum has taught me to strive to do better and see what I can do when I put my mind to things. And it's made me trust my own abilities. I think if I was able to do a project like this ever again, I would do way better and focus more on my work.
My weakness was presenting today, or with the interactive part of this, but I feel like after our thorough run-throughs, I think I've gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah, personally, I think my main weakness was trust. It's not easy trusting the other group members for like work to be handed in, etc. I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knows that. But I feel like trusting others can make the product of what you're trying to produce much better and much more like inclusive for everyone, so they can also have the same kind of passion you would have for the product as well. Yeah, and now moving on to what's the best part of Future Fit.
I think the best part of Future Fit was in this very room, we would me, Soletu, and Mitchell would walk in with 3 different ideas. Some people shedding tears, some people shouting, and then we would end up with one idea and one goal set to do for the next day or the same day that we start our meetings.
Yo, my favorite part of Future Fit is coming here, second prep, running through our presentation, like having goals at each other's until we finally got our main idea and our final PowerPoint, which I think worked out very well.
Yeah, definitely the best part for me is seeing our vision come to life, seeing the kids seated exactly where you are here, with a smile and then pens and papers, ready to go and ready to learn. So yeah, that was definitely my best part, and that's what wraps up our Future Fit.
Questions? So you obviously went on quite a journey and you ended up with a very, very practical day of workshops. How could you see this scaling up or improving in the future? What other things would you offer to the students as a follow-on from the workshops? What else do they need as a next step?
So I think that we could increase the amount of different careers that we have. We had a lot of no's from different people that maybe if we had more time or even more popularity that they would say yes and they would come. Hopefully we can hand this on to different people to take us a step further.
So my question is, what do the students need after a day of information?
I think the students need more clarity. They need an actual physical, like maybe a booklet we can give them to give them like steps on what to take. Like if they wanted to be a quantity variable, we'll tell them these are the subjects you need to the university, this is the personality you need to start making yourself, you need to start doing these things to improve your skills. I think that's what will actually help the students even more.
Just a question, are you intending this program to focus more on the vocational sort of careers? Or would you also introduce, just a variety of careers across the board? Because there's, you can basically have a whole host of different careers from the professionals all the way down to the vocational. Vocational being the woodworking and the hands-on type of careers. Do you see this getting to be broader? And then what type of partnerships do you see to bring into this? I mean, in South Africa, you've got the SETAs, which are a whole lot of organizations which promote vocational training in different types of ways. Have you thought about the ways that you can take it forward in order to grow it?
Yes, so definitely taking forward, we looked at, there's a sports program that kind of does basically what we do. They bring kids in, teach them different sports and stuff like that. So we're also trying to bring them into this partnership. We were thinking about doing it in the early stages, but time was obviously not on the side at that time. And also, I'm pretty sure it's like Love Nazis or something like that, that does kind of do similar things to this. So yeah, we're also trying to look at them and like eventually spread it out across KZN and then hopefully across South Africa for especially these communities, because we do know that there's a lot of them that do this type of education, I think. So I think definitely need more professionals, bigger space, and yeah, I think that's how we can take it forward.
And maybe not, so I've got one question and then just a comment. The one question I have, and maybe I didn't pay proper attention, we went from sprinkler to the focus. That was where you started, right? The sprinkler didn't come back. Right. I might have just missed the sprinkler, so thank you for that. And then just thank you very much. The work that you do, and to answer part of your question is, the My Class Community Partnership already works with development, which offers the learners the possibility to choose subjects and guide them and hopefully post-career. So the work that you're doing is incredibly valuable within your larger My Class community. And my invitation is to work closer with your community partnership, because the work that you're both doing will be part of the sustainability story and your legacy. Thank you.
Well done, guys. Chaps, you can also ask questions, eh? Extra bonus marks for a good question. Bonus marks.
I'm chowing with the question.
Right, on to our final presentation for today. Hello, building a voice for communities.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, guests, and fellow future players. Today, I will be presenting our project that we have been doing for the past 2 terms, alongside my group members Thomas Carpenter-Crickle and Matthew Reese. In today's presentation, we'll be covering our original plan that we had going into our future fit curriculum. The idea that we pivoted to after things didn't really work out for the first idea. Our methodology throughout the curriculum and the plan going forward after future fits. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Thomas first.
We initially planned to focus on SDG3, good health and well-being, by creating a project inspired by an American mental health service provider called BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online platform that helps people find therapists suited to their needs. The process starts with an online survey that matches users with a therapist who is best suited based on their responses. Some of the key features of BetterHelp include therapy opinions for individuals, couples, and teams. The flexibility of choosing between in-person and online therapy sessions. A built-in pricing feature to help users manage their budgets. A vast network of over 32,000 licensed therapists available on the platform. We believe that in South Africa, mental health is still a sensitive topic, and there is a general reluctance to openly discuss it. Many people in the community have limited exposure to mental health care and lack proper education about it. As a result, we see a significant opportunity to bring more awareness and accessible mental health resources to South Africa, helping to change the stigma surrounding mental well-being.
So I know this might seem a bit random because those of you who know our project know that this isn't what we align with at all. So Matthew Reese will now explain why we pivoted and what we pivoted to.
So our second idea was actually to move away from a more mental health perspective. Also because with all of the therapists and stuff, we'd see that people in the local villages and stuff would rather go and use their traditional methods of sorting out the problem instead of going to a therapist or something. So we kind of moved away from that idea, and then we wanted to start an app where you could log your skills or your anything that you want to, like, so people could hire your expertise or whatever, so they could get so you could get yourself a job. So you could advertise, and then another part of the app would be a general survey, which would collect data and find the biggest problems, which then we would bring in outside NPOs and stuff to kind of sort out or help fix the problems. But then we kind of moved away from kind of bringing in outside help to sort out the problems in the communities. And we actually had a meeting with Love Hope, which resulted in with us actually moving, honestly, with moving away from bringing outside help and actually rather changing our thinking to actually help and teach them, the people inside the communities, how to fix their own problems. So we would kind of get their problems or get the most problem, the biggest problem that they're facing, and then we would help them and like teach them how they could fix their own problems. So we would kind of just facilitate that process. And yeah, so what is within?
Uhlelo, the spirit of our future. Reporting, the base of Uhlelo and the start of our process. So jobs and opportunity, another part of our service which will get qualified individuals that can advertise their skills and jobs and help solve the issues. Community chats. So we will host a chat within supported communities to allow for solutions to be discussed in between the people in the community. Community partnership. Communities with similar problems can collaborate through our services. Sustainability. Building sustainable communities through the given solutions. So here's the quote. They are much wiser than we give them, and we must give them credit for. So now we're going on to our method, which
I just quickly want to clarify some things from the section. So in the section, with the reporting side of things, we will mostly focus on if someone logs a report on our app, there was also a solution on our app. So we aren't focused so negatively on the problem side of things. So that also lends itself to the solution-based side of our app. So people can solve the problem with the solutions that they want to see. I feel it's important. Okay, and then our method going into Future Fit curriculum, we didn't really have a lot of academic documents to go over, so we mainly focused on interviewing people. So we had 3 main consultants that we interviewed. The first being Mrs. Karen Midland, who is in the audience today. We are very grateful. We started very close to home. So we interviewed Mrs. Karen Midland with a focus on NPO startups and ways to get funds. So something that came out of that meeting was the job advertisement side of the app. So basically with that, someone can log onto our app and pay a small subscription fee to kind of advertise their jobs on our Uhlelo site. So and that's just a way to put things back into the Uhlelo business. And then the second consultant we interviewed was Mr. Akash Singh. We interviewed him, we went into that interview to try and find a way to make our business sustainable and more future fit. So something that came out of that meeting was to go and review the government's documents for the area and the plans to make the area more sustainable already. So there wasn't too much come out of that meeting, but it was still very helpful. And then thirdly, we interviewed the head of Love City, Mr. Matthew Haggerty. Now this was a very, very interesting interview. We went into this interview with the possibility of collaboration. So we were hoping maybe that Love Nazis or Love Howard could possibly partner with us to help send solutions into communities. Although an outcome of this meeting was that Love Cities actually wanted us to be a symbiote app to them, because they actually already have the reporting-based system that they do, which we didn't know in our research. So we're quite devastated to hear that. Although it actually worked out in our favor, because Uhlelo actually means the plan. And if we focus more on solutions, it fits with our name. So yeah, we were quite excited to hear that, although a lot of groups have mentioned Love Nazis, so we were not too special. And then we also went in to get a ground level view of Ligiton. Matthew will speak about that now.
So we actually went and interviewed my 2 friends from Crystal Springs, and so what we wanted really from the meeting was kind of a person who's in the village, their kind of point of view of our ideas and stuff. So what we kind of got out of that conversation and stuff was actually that it would really help in the community to get jobs, because people really struggle to get jobs without any kind of support to kind of, or the advertising. So they kind of, so like the jobs is kind of a big part. And then also the problems with municipalities and stuff. So they kind of struggle with actually putting their voice and actually like putting problems out there. So the municipality can actually see them and actually try and fix it. But so that's kind of what they struggle with. So obviously then we kind of got more of an ability to kind of carry on or like dig deeper into that kind of side of the project. So so we got very valuable information from him about this whole thing. And at the end they kind of said, yeah, it'll work. We just need to get like the awareness kind of thing of to like get people aware of this whole thing. That would be obviously the first step. What they said after that, once people actually kind of know what this whole thing's about, it'll actually will work quite well.
So this was a picture of Matthew Reese and I after our interview. We went back to Crystal Springs to job with the students. Unfortunately, Tom wasn't with us because he was in San. So he was very devastated about that. Yeah, so I'll now speak about the plan going forward. So we're actually very, very excited as an outcome of our meeting with Matthew Quality. So we are now actually going to be probably going forward with Love Cities. We are going to be partnering with them. We are going to partner with them on their platforms so that we can get information alongside with them on their servers. So people are going to log in their solutions as well as problems. So Love Cities are going to get the problem side of the survey. We're probably going to get the solutions. And then as part of the startup with Love Cities, we are partnering with them for the Santa School Box project. So these donation points have already been set up in multiple houses. There's actually one right outside here in Macon. This poster was designed by Matthew Lees. I must say it's rather steep in pricing. I don't know it's going to be 250 Rand on Zappa. And now just to go into some reflections. So what works and what didn't. So I must say for me, this future fit curriculum has been like very enriching experience. It's grown my patience. It's been a trip. And then for what didn't work, I must say, dealing with roommates on a very busy schedule has been tough. I've been procrastinating a lot with exams, saxophone, jazz band, all my co-curricular things. It's been wild.
What I really loved about this curriculum is kind of getting to know the people and communities around you. So you kind of get a deeper understanding of how people work in their daily lives and stuff. Even like the people in your group, you kind of get to know them on a deeper level than just that guy you just walk past in the corridors. So yeah, that was kind of a really help for me and stuff. And what I didn't really like was just in the beginning we had some issues with the people. So, but then after like the first 3 weeks, it was all fun. I think we were all back on track.
So what I liked about Future Fit is that how Lam spoke to us about collaboration and also speaks to us about collaboration. For me, I'm a big collaboration guy. So Future Fit in a way has helped me be even more collaborative with my group members. And before Future Fit, I actually knew them as my friends. And then actually I built a stronger relationship with them while being more collaborative with my group members. And something that didn't work in Future Fit is that I wasn't really helping my group at the beginning. And like I said in my thing, Future Fit helped me. So then I was actually more collaborative with my group members and helped them with stuff that they needed. But like I said, the thing that didn't really work out is that I wasn't as collaborative as they wanted me to be.
Boys, yes?
Do you have any plans on how you're going to raise that awareness?
So we'll probably start like within the martial community because obviously we need to start small and grow bigger. So we'll probably just start in the martial community with the staff and stuff. Maybe just like kind of not really that they get like involved, but just spreading the awareness. So yeah, and then they can spread it on to their families and stuff. Because most of the people who come from or the staff are from Tanzania region. So if they can make it spread, like, that'll be one of our biggest factors is if the staff, if they spread it. Because yeah, obviously there's lots of them and they can really spread the message well. And then we'll also might like set up some meetings and stuff with the municipality like leaders or whatever in the community and stuff.
So just that, I want to ask you, our work with Love City, so they've promised so that they're doing the Santa School Box projects similar to that, so that they're really going to push our name out there. So that's one way that we're hoping to kind of push our out. And yeah, so that's one way that we're hoping to get our name out there.
As much as I admire your first topic and your problem that you were focused on, because there's a great need for that, I want to acknowledge how brave it was to recognize that maybe it wasn't going to suit our community or our sort of environment. It seems to me like this is a project that certainly is sustainable and you could carry on with it, you know, indefinitely. Do you plan to do that, to keep it going and just to stay involved in it?
Even if we are just the voice that starts the echo now, we just hope to start something that makes an impact.
That draws an end to our first day of Future Fit Indaba, our first day of projects. I think what is always incredibly important to do is to just reflect on a number of things that comes up when we sit and watch these very, very brave, smart, creative D-blockers. What they have done in terms of, as small as having a meeting with a particular organization or meet adults, to designing a presentation, all right, to building something that they designed or created. The sort of the variety and diversity of all their projects, and from the smallest skill to the biggest outcome is really astounding. And I think they all deserve another round of applause. More internally is the actual the shifting that happens within every single one of them, and it is incredible to witness. But whether it's something that is brought up now and quite viscerally in their projects and in how they work to collaborate with each other, or whether it's something they discover in their CBA block or beyond school years, something's definitely shifted in all of them. We as coaches have seen that, and it really is incredible to witness and bear witness to that.
I'd just like to give some feedback because I know I'm close to home here, but what the scripter failed to mention is that Akash Singh, who they spoke to, is actually the national president of SACA Council, so the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. And Sigma International that he is with is they basically do sustainable development in communities across the country, which is why he can't be here because he's in the Northern Cape, busy helping 50 companies at the moment. So the feedback that I got from Akash was he had to keep on reminding himself he was dealing with 15-year-old boys. He had to keep on reminding himself the fact that they were great learned because of the maturity of the conversation and the maturity of the ideas. And he actually got quite excited because he was like, can I phone Michael House and speak to Michael House about X, Y, and Z? So, you know, and I'm sure that same feedback would have been gotten from the various different stakeholders that were speaking to the boys and that were engaging with the boys, is the maturity, and it's not, you know, there's some boys out there or some children out there that can't ask for a glass of water from a waiter in a restaurant. And these boys were engaging with CEOs and presidents of national councils. And I think that is a kudos to the program and to the My Class Boy as well. So I just want to give credit to them as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have more on Monday, another action-packed day, and there's we have 6 projects. So please, if you can't make it on Monday, tune in online to watch the rest. There's some very interesting ones coming up again. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your